Welcome to this video on Mindset Mastery. Now we're going to get into the 5 secrets of who you really are. 5 secrets, eh? It's not secrets really. This is taken from the Upanishads, the Vedas from India. And this is how they explain the elements of you as a human being. And this starts to bring everything into focus of what we've been talking about in the last few videos. We're starting to really bring it into our elements. So let's get straight into it. So you think about it as a charioteer, you as a human being, right? And the elements that make that up. So the 5 horses are your 5 senses: your vision, your smell, your taste, your hearing, and your touch. They're the 5 horses actually starting to pull you around. So if you're going into sense gratification, the horses start to run off wildly, right? So that's really important to get that. So you need to have some sort of control over these 5 senses. And the control, or the guidance I should say, comes from the reins, and the reins are your mind. So your reins are connecting with the horses, and your reins, your mind, throwing up all these different thoughts, emotions and feelings. And are they you? Are they you? Are some of the thoughts that you've had you? No, they're not. They offer them up to you all the time. Your mind's offering you up thoughts, feelings, emotions. You can choose which ones you take. It's really important, because if you start choosing all of the negative ones, you're going to go down and down and down in a spiral circle. If you choose the good ones that help you grow your higher self, your higher mindset, you're mastering your mindset, you will start to master your mindset. Really important to get that, to see that. So that's the reins is your mind. Horses, your 5 senses, the reins is your mind. The driver is your charioteer, which is your intellect. Your intellect needs to grow. So you've got all this different knowledge, but not to use it as a cutting tool, because your intellect can cut. That's why we got the expression sharp intellect. You cut till there's nothing left. You've got no bridges around you. You're all there, isolated, all on your own. So your intellect can cut. So you don't want to be cutting with your intellect, but you want to be growing your intellect. You need to be focusing on getting your wisdom and knowledge bigger, which is actually just your intellect. Your wisdom and knowledge are 2 different things. Then you come to your chariot, which is what you show to the world, your persona. So you can polish that chariot up as much as you like, make it shiny, but it's a facade. It's just the facade of you. So it's important to obviously have a representable version of you, but putting too many buttons and bells on it is a distraction to what you really are. So that can be called your ego, or your sense of self. So your ego's watching your intellect, watching your mind, watching your 5 senses. So your ego's sitting behind it, and your ego and intellect can be in battle, and your intelligence really comes behind that, which is your soul, or your natural wisdom, or your life force. So it's observing all of this, and we tap in to a higher intelligence from this. So an animal doesn't have to think, well, I'll eat that food because it's good for me, or I won't eat that because it's bad for me. Even though some animals do eat bad food, but in the wild, in nature, like cats and dogs, we've messed up completely as a species. But in the wild, an animal will realise that's good food to me, I'm going to eat it. It's a natural intelligence. It's not intellectual, not from the ego, the sense of self. It's a natural intelligence. So this passenger in our chariot, we need to connect more with this natural intelligence. You can't tell us what to do. It will never tell us what to do. I think you can feel the disappointment inside when you're not connected to it, which is why a lot of us feel lost and lonely and disconnected, because we're not connected to this. Well, our ego, our intellect, our mind, our chariot, our 5 senses are not connected to this. This is your guide. This is your soul. This is where the essence of you comes from. All these other things are not you. They're just elements of you. All your body, your eyes are not you. Your ears are not you. Your nose, your body's not you. Your thoughts are not you. Your mind is not you. It's not you. Emotions. The charioteer, your intellect is not you. It's something that grows within your brain. Your chariot is not you. It's your ego. But this soul, that is you. And it can never, ever, ever be damaged. It can go to nasty places, but it can never be damaged. So that is empowering thought in itself, to realize that actually whatever happens in this material world, this is never going to get damaged, which is incredible. So that should give you the freedom and liberation to actually feel, okay, I'm going to try this, but I'm not going to hurt or harm anybody or anything else in the process of me moving myself forward. So getting this mindset in place of realizing the different elements to you and how they're working and how they can mess each other up until you start to connect with the true self, the true essence of you. Then once you get that, all of this comes a lot easier and a lot more, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. That's simple. But that never stops. It always keeps growing because it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's it, the chariot. So you've got the 5 horses is your senses, the reins is the mind, charioteer is your intellect, the chariot is your ego, and your passenger is your soul. They're the 5 elements to you as a human being. That's what makes you up. And there's one part that's really you, which is your soul. Everything else, just attributes of you. So that's it. That's the chariot. If you want to go deeper into this or anything like this to help you expand as a human being, I do have a course called the Dream Method, where you can click the link below, you go to the webinar, you can see what that's all about. If that's not for you, that's fine as well. Carry on with this series, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, be well, keep shining.